Hi everybody, welcome to this short clip of yoga postures with me. I'm Carly. Just move at your own pace, honour how your body's feeling, whether that's in the morning, afternoon or evening, and just enjoy bringing your yoga practice perhaps into your home, into your holidays. So today we're going to start by widening the knees. Bring the hands forward or crossing them underneath the forehead. And just letting the hips start to move from side to side, loosening backwards. And then coming to the center and softening through the hips and lowering the head. Letting any tension move out of the shoulder joints. Letting the head rest, the skin of the face soften. And starting to notice the breath as it moves gently in and then out through the nose. Perhaps noticing the texture of the air and the temperature of the air. Slightly cooler on the inhale and slightly warmer on the exhale. Bring the hands up front, pressing through the palms and lifting hips up into an all-fours position. Starting to let the hips fall out to the sides of the mat. Pressing the finger pads into the floor and keeping the elbows soft, the shoulders and the hips loose. Transitioning to anti-clockwise circles, bringing the chest forward, the hips out and then back towards the heels. Making your circle supportive to how you're feeling today. You might move slower or faster than I am. Your circle might be larger or smaller. And you might enjoy keeping your eyes closed. Returning back to the center, to all fours. And let's raise the chin, lower the belly. Sweeping the head back, pressing through the hands, lifting through the back of the heart. And then continuing a few times. Feeling the entire length of the spine, noticing if there's any difference between the left and the right, the lower and the upper back. The tailbone and the skull. Pausing the next time that you lift the back of the heart upward. Pressing into the finger pads, feeling the muscles between the shoulder blades broadening. Gently dropping the hips to the heels. Sweeping the arms backwards and then lifting them up as the hips lift up. Stretching the front of the throat, pressing the hips forward and then dropping the hands and the chin. Sweeping the arms up. Dropping the head down. letting the hands be heavy. Lifting the gaze and dropping the right ear towards the right shoulder. Bring the left arm up and over into a side bend, and then coming partway up before returning back over to the right. Twisting, turning the belly button towards the knee, dropping the hand, and coming back up. Coming to the other side, dropping the left ear. Feeling the side of the neck opening, and shoulders dropping down the back before we bring the right arm up and over. Coming partway up. Returning back over again, twisting and turning. Pressing the hips forward and dropping the hand. Lifting the gaze. Opening the arms. Turning the palms up towards the ceiling. And then rolling them down towards the floor. Maybe as the hands roll up, you can lift the chin. And then slightly drop the chin as the palms move down. Feeling the rotation through the shoulders all the way to the ends of the fingertips. Softening through the forearms, the wrists, the hands. And then turning the head and the palms back to the front. Drawing the hands together, rounding over, maybe sitting back over towards the heels. Opening the arms, pressing the hips forward, lifting the chest. And then continuing with this movement, backwards and forwards. Rounding and opening. The next time that we sit back, pausing. Dropping the hands down beside the waist. And then as we lift them up, coming up onto our knees. Feeling the press of the hands together. And then bringing them forward and the hips back, returning to a child's pose. Walking the hands over to the right. Pressing the left hand into the ground, drawing the left hip back. Letting the head gently move towards the floor. Softening through the shoulders. And then sweeping the hands back through the center. And over to the left. Once again, pressing the right hand into the ground, drawing the right hip back. And then feeling the right side of the body. Gently opening with each inhale, and then softening back with the exhale. Bringing the hands back to the center. Lifting the hips up, coming back to all fours. Staying here in a plank with the knees down, or perhaps you tuck the toes and lift the knees. Feeling both heels reaching back, opening through the calves. Breathing in and out through the nose. And returning the knees to the floor and sitting the hips backwards. Coming back into your plank, either with the knees down or with the knees up. And this time, lifting the hips, rolling the heels back down to the floor. Lowering one heel at a time. The hips perhaps move out towards the side. Keeping the fingers pressing down and forward. And then starting to walk forward with the knees as bent as you need. Hands can stay on the ground, or perhaps you bring the elbows onto the knees. Letting the head tilt forward, the weight come into the toes. And then starting to curl up as you press into the feet. Rolling the shoulders over at the top of the movement. Taking a breath in and a breath out through the nose. Sweeping the arms up, lifting the heels. Feeling the balance. Keeping the hands slightly apart, and then as we lower the heels, bending the knees, keeping the chest lifted, the spine long. Dropping the arms, rolling the chest. Bring the arms back up. And sinking back down into a chair. Lowering the arms, stretching the knees. This time bringing the hands together. And then twisting towards the right, bending the knees once more. Maybe dropping the left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Pressing them together, twisting and looking up towards the ceiling. Starting to unravel, coming back to the front. Lifting the hands up. Lifting the heels. Feeling the breath. And then dropping the heels. Bending the knees, twisting over to the left. Maybe dropping the right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Pressing them together, turning the head and looking up towards the ceiling. Coming back to the center. Hands lifting up. And then brushing the thumbs down the center of the forehead, down the nose, the chin, and to the very center of the chest, dropping the chin, softening the elbow, feeling the tailbone reaching down, hip points lifting up, and just noticing the cadence of the heart, the rhythm of the breath. Dropping the hands. Let's come into a side bend, lifting the left arm and the left heel. Dropping the heel down, flexing the hand, like we're pressing against a wall. Dropping the chest slightly forward, and then dropping the arms. Coming back up. Lifting the right arm and the right heel. Coming over to the side. Lowering the heel down lightly, gently. Flexing the hand. Dropping the chest forward. Tucking the tailbone under slightly. And then curling back up. Opening the arms wide. Drawing the hands forward. Opening the chest. Bring the arms together. Keeping the bended knees as we drop the hands down, rolling the arms up. And then folding forward, bring the elbows to the knees or the hands to the floor, whatever's more comfortable. Bending the knees as much as you need. Gauge a comfortable level of sensation through the back of the body. Letting the weight tip into the toes, the head to be heavy. And then pressing through the feet and curling back up. Feeling the weight coming over into the right leg. Bring the left back into a lunge. Sweeping the arms up towards the ceiling. And then stretching the leg as the arms move down. Bending the leg again, this time coming into a side stretch with the left arm coming overhead. Returning back up. Both arms in a T position, keeping the legs stretched, the knees pulling up to the hips as we bring the hands forward, tucking the pelvis. Breathing. And then opening the arms and bending the knee. Keeping the bend in the knee as we bring the hands forward. Dropping them down towards the hips, rolling the shoulders open and raising the hands up before bringing them down to the knee. Letting the chin drop, pressing the back heel into the floor, and then coming back up. Bring the hands to the waist, lifting the back heel, bending the front knee. And maybe from here drawing the back knee in towards the chest before placing the foot back down. Stretching both legs, just letting the hips move from side to side, loosening through the pelvis. Coming back to the center, feeling the weight this time, moving across into the left leg, extending the right back into a lunge, really placing that back heel down onto the floor. Bring the hands upwards, reaching towards the ceiling, and then lowering the hands, stretching the knee. As we bend the knee again, bringing the right arm up and over, pressing the left hand into the hip. So we're balancing through the body. Feeling stretch running all the way down the right side, and then returning back up. Stretching the front knee, drawing the hands together, tucking the hips under, dropping the chin. Keeping the feet pressing down and apart. And then opening the hands, bending the knee. Bring the hands forward. Rolling the hands down and back up. And then over onto the knee. Feeling the middle part of the back lifting upwards. Back of the right knee lengthening. And then coming back up. Hands onto the hips. Bending the front knee. Lifting the back heel. Feeling the weight moving forward. And maybe drawing the right knee in towards the chest. Rounding over. And then dropping the foot back down. This time coming into anti-clockwise circles with the hips. Letting the knees be loose. Letting the body guide the movement. And then widening the feet a little bit more than the hips. And just starting to twist from side to side. Hands can circle the hips or maybe up towards the shoulders. Coming back to the center. Placing both hands on the outside of the right leg. Feeling texture underneath the hands of your skin or clothing as we start to move down. Perhaps towards the knee, the shin or the ankle. Keeping the weight in the toes, the left hip drawing back. drawing the knees up towards the hips and then coming back up into a standing position. Bring the hands across to the other side. Just checking the feet are parallel. Dropping the chin. Moving the hands down. Drawing the right hip back. Letting the back of the hips be soft, head heavy. Sending the breath to any points of tightness or tension. Running down the right side of the body. And then this time, bending the knees as much as you need to bring the hands onto the floor in front of the feet. Maybe turning the toes out, sinking the hips back if that feels comfortable, coming into a squat. Bring the hands forward, dropping the chin. Bring the hands slightly inwards and resting the bottom to the ground. Bring the knees bended in front of the chest, opening the chest, then sinking slightly back, rolling the chin to the chest. So feeling the length of the spine. The curvature backwards and forward. And then the next time that we move back, we'll lower the body all the way down to the ground. Keeping the feet as wide as the hips, the hands beside the body. And just starting to draw the toes up towards the shins. Placing them back down and lifting the heels, coming to the toe points. Feeling into the soles of the feet, the ankles, the toes, maybe even up into the lower part of the legs. Lowering the feet back down, bringing that rolling and rocking action to the pelvis and the lower part of the spine. If you'd like to, pressing into the feet, lifting the hips up, activating the outsides of the hips, lengthening through the front of the thigh, pausing, breathing gently in and out, pressing through the big toe knuckles, and then very gently and slowly lowering the upper back, middle back, and lower back. Bring the knees in towards the chest. Circling the knees in an anti-clockwise direction. Feeling the lower part of the torso loosening. Bring the feet as wide as the mat, the arms out into a T-shaped position. Just letting the knees fall from side to side, the head turning in the opposite direction. Bring the knees back to the center. And this time we'll draw the left knee into the chest, lengthening the right along the floor. Drawing the knee across the body, coming into a twist. Feeling the breath running down the sides of the ribs. Before returning back to the center. Extending the leg and the arms. And then drawing the right knee inwards, pressing the left down. Drawing the knee across the chest. Coming to a twist on the other side, looking towards the right palm, letting gravity gently lengthen the muscles around the hip and into the back. Softening through the right shoulder and the length of the right arm. And then returning onto our backs and coming to a comfortable position to lie out for a few moments. Making adjustments. Tucking perhaps the shoulders under the back. Moving the back of the hips left to right. Positioning the heels where it's comfortable for the legs to fully let go down into the floor. Letting the whole of the body surrender downwards. Sinking deeper and deeper into the floor. Letting the muscles be like jelly. The cells releasing any tension and allowing the expansion of space to ripple through the whole body, from the ends of the toes through the ankles, up towards the knees, and then the hips. Pausing, letting the back of the hips really release and let go. Drawing your attention in towards the spine, creating a warmth out to the back of the shoulders, and then the very back of the neck. Softening through the jaw, the cheeks, the eyebrows, and the forehead. Letting the head drop even a little bit more down into the floor. Breathing gently in and out through the nose. Enjoying the dance of the collarbones, the rib cage, the belly, upwards and outwards, and then softly back down. Expanding the light and your love from your inner heart out to the edges of your body and beyond. If you feel too, please continue to lie out as long as you would like. It's been lovely being with you, and I hope to see you in class sometime soon. Have a wonderful morning, afternoon or evening. Thank you.